We'll get started on our workshop. So I will call the workshop meeting to order for Monday, June 8th, 9 a.m. Welcome, everybody. We'll jump right into it. So, 1-1, we're going to open the meeting tonight. We will have an approval of the agenda. We do have changes. I believe Mr. Spolsky, Ms. Perry would like to pull 10.2. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll pull 10.2 for tonight. Do we have any other additions, edits, amendments to the agenda? Okay. Moving on, 3.1. We're going to do recognition of Matt Brunson, the head football coach at Baker School, on his induction to the FHSAA Hall of Fame, and that'll be a really, really good one because that's a big deal. Administrative personnel appointments, 4.1, we're going to do the appointment of the assistant principal at Pineview School, recommended by the superintendent. 5.1, public comment. 6, committee staff reports. Number 7, consent agenda. We'll jump. 7.1 is just going to be its approval. 7.2 will be approval of the minutes of the workshop meeting for May 26th and the regular meeting on May 26th as well. 7.3 will be appropriation of the District 2 school board members' capital outlay funds to Shalimar Elementary for buzzers for $387 presented by myself. And I don't want to talk about myself in third person. Weird.
That was a big expenditure there, Mr. Destin.
$387. Well, at least I still got it to spend.
Touche.
7.4, we're going to appropriate District 4 school board member capital outlay funds to Crestview High School for a gymnasium sound system in the amount of $23,422. That one's presented by board member Mr. Bryant. And 7.5, we're going to do invoices to be approved for payment, presented by Julie Perry. Those are the board bills. You've got the summaries.
I have something on that, Mr.
Yes, go ahead.
Congratulations. No POs. First time ever, I think. So.
Terrific. All right, 7.6, authorization to appropriate federal impact aid funds and make a payment in the amount of $13,380 to the charter schools, presented by Ms. Perry and recommended by the superintendent. I'm going to scroll a little bit further. 7.7, renewal of ITB 22-20, which is a carpet tile, LVT, and VCT district-wide. That's presented by Vince Wyndham, Program Director for Purchasing, and recommended by the Superintendent. 7.8, tag-on bid, RFB 2604 SP. That's the speech language pathologist, presented by Vince Wyndham, Program Director of Purchasing, and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. 7.9, tag-on bid of RFP 250604, that's the custodial dispensing systems, presented by Vince Wyndham, the Program Director of Purchasing, and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. 7.10, service agreement number 27-03 by, Brooke Zuru-Segaruka, presented by Vince Wyndham, Program Director of Purchasing, and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. 7.11, service agreement number 27-04, Garrett Lambert. This one's presented by Vince Wyndham, Program Director, recommended by the Superintendent for approval. Moving on, 7.12, service agreement number 2705, Kenneth Rhodes. This one's presented by Vince Wyndham, the Program Director of Purchasing, and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. 7.13, service agreement 2706, Randall Nelson, presented by Vince Wyndham, Program Director of Purchasing, and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. 7.14, this is a sole source, number 2612, Frontline, presented by Vince Wyndham, Program Director, Purchasing, and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. 7.15, this is a request for course code adoption for the 26-27 school year, presented by Ms. Stephanie Gillis, Specialist of Curriculum and Instruction, and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. 7.16, This is the renewal of the school board's insurance trust member and property casualty insurance program. This one's presented by Sarah Cato, the risk management director, and this is recommended by the superintendent for approval.
Chair Destin, I'd like to call up Ms. Sarah Cato at this time to give us a report on this item.
Terrific.
So normally when I come before you guys, I'm talking about benefits. And today we're going to switch gears for my second hat that I wear in the district, which is risk management. So we're going to discuss that. So our FSBIT renewal brings a lot of things to us, but I always want to make sure that I preface that by letting you guys know that when you think about risk management, you think about protecting assets, liability, and things like that, which that's true. But number one, our biggest asset is our employees. So the reason why we want to protect those things and make sure we have those property and casualty liabilities in place is so in essence we're protecting our employees as well with workers' comp, those types of things. So we'll go ahead and get into it. I did give you the actual renewal, and when we get to that part of the presentation, you'll have it in front of you so that you can view it as well. So some of the things you'll be seeing throughout this is the U.S. insurance market is saying that it's softening regarding property lines, and then it's hardening due to severe litigation pressures. That just means that some things are shifting with sovereign immunity and things like that, and so it just changes the atmosphere. And then general liability, commercial auto, excess layers remain under strain. And then we want to emphasize the importance of a strong risk management program. So that's what we're trying to do, is present that today. So I just want to remind everyone, because sometimes we don't talk about FSBIT all the time, so we want to make sure everyone understands who they are. So it's the Florida School Board Insurance Trust. They provide claims administration, loss control. They have a broad insurance market access where they can go and try to secure different insurances for us at lower rates. And then they provide adjusters, consultants, and legal for us so that we can process those claims when they come through, if it gets to that point. And then you're wondering, well, then what does my team do? So under my team for risk management, we take these claims, and whether they're property, building damage, auto accidents, or a workers' comp situation, we are taking the claim, we investigate the circumstances, we gather all of the data, and then we submit it to FSBIT, and then the adjusters reach out and they kind of process the claim from there. And then we manage it also. So if we have to report back to supervisors for any reason or keep up with the claim, submit more information to them, more mainly it's a lot of paperwork at that point, and then the legal side of it as well. So really, what does this mean financially? So really, we actually have a decrease of $1,062,563 from 2025, which is pretty significant. And a lot of that is due to decreasing in some of the premiums that you see, even though if you're looking at your paper, and you really want to focus on the left-hand side of that paper, which is what I'm showing here, you're seeing where there's a lot of decreases happening, and there's a few increases on like property loss fund and those types of things, but it's very insignificant. It's not as high as you would think. And so this just kind of points out what changed. So the property loss increase, boiler machinery increase, and crime premium increase, those are the different policies. And then the casualty loss fund reinsurance decrease and the workers' comp decrease. And then our FSBIT fees decreased. And the why of that, the increases, we had some claims on the ones on the left last year. It's kind of like when you get in a car accident and you try to go renew your insurance, they may say, ooh, you had a car accident, we're going to up those rates just a little bit on you this next year, and that's kind of what happened in those categories. And then the FSBIT fees decreased because they do the accounting for FLEET, which is the Florida Employee Health Trust, and they are earning money by doing the accounting for them, and they turn that back around to the districts that are in the FSBIT trust, and they took that away from our admin fees for all of us in a certain percentage, and so that's why those were decreased on our side. So we just want to say that the claims have remained relatively stable. They're not out of whack. You know, they do a 5-year look back and kind of see where we're at with our claims. Are we overextended our claims? Do we have too many? Are we just kind of traipsing along? And that's kind of where we're at. We're pretty stable. And so that brings me to our present and future. Like, what are we doing now? What are we going to do in the future? So what I like to do is always communicate to our employees. And we've tried last year to do safety meetings for our transportation and our maintenance team, and try to bring a little bit of incentives to that when we go and make things a little fun, because risk management isn't that much fun doing those things, but if you can incentivize people for making good choices, that's where I think we need to be. I really don't think it's good to come up here and say, what did happen was this car accident or this property damage or this workers' comp. I'd much rather say, who made a great choice? This school and this human being over here, and they did wonderful. So that's what we're looking forward to in the future, is to recognize making great choices and the leaders that help them do those good choices as well. So we want to create a safety culture. So, we've been talking with maintenance, facilities, and our school safety office to try to make sure we're kind of combining things and working together as a team so we can be a little more cohesive, making sure everyone's on the same page. We want to encourage safe practices over all of our departments. And then I'm trying to look at training evaluation, so methods where we can use our vector solutions and maybe encourage people to use them a little bit more. It's not mandatory, but that's where you're going to get a lot of your trainings and learn things a little bit more. Because listen, as adults, obviously we've been through different training mechanisms. We know about slip, trips, falls, those types of things, but sometimes we still can't afford to be complacent, and sometimes that little joggle of memory is helpful so that you can say, that's right, I need to make sure I'm doing X, Y, Z and doing it to the best of my ability, or at least looking out for my buddy that's walking with me. Hey, there's water on the floor. Just something in that generalization, so we're keeping our eyes open and being aware. And then I want to collect feedback for continuous improvement from people. So when we are having meetings and talking to people, I would like to ask them, what do you think? What do you think we could do to be safer in your area, for you particularly? So that's important to me, and I like to have that one-on-one with people. That's my presentation. Sorry, I felt like I went through it really fast.
Ms. Cato, you did great. Colleagues?
I'll start off just because it has been an honor to represent this board as the trustee for Okaloosa County and Fisbit, and just to hear her presentation today is exciting because I've said this in the past. She was alluding to it. She didn't come quite out and say it this way, but risk management is the one area within our school district that we can control the expenses and all and make a difference there. You two in the private sector know that in the restaurant business, slips, falls, cuts, and all that are a big expense. And you do your best to train your employees. This is exactly what we're doing here. And you mentioned something about Vector. Vector is such a great tool that we have that is provided by Fisbit. This is part of what we pay for to be a part of that trust. And I will say that to get to the point where we are today, 2 years ago, the trust had to make some big decisions, and they put a strain on all of us at that time. It was tough. Property, everything was up. But because the trust did the tough moves a couple of years ago, this is what's happening now. We're benefiting from it. And also Fleet is a huge addition to Okaloosa County, because we are a full member of that also. But to Fisbit, like you said, we're getting revenue from that, which helps us decrease our fees like you presented out today. So colleagues, I will just say that Dr. White and myself were on this board when we approved Fisbit, and I can just tell you that it's been a great partnership, and the things that we're doing that you have presented, I'm so happy to hear that the proactiveness of it and all. I will say that you've done a great job of bringing awareness and making it fun. I haven't won a door prize at all, so but I do appreciate what you're doing, and I know you go to the FISBIT meetings all the time. You go 4 times a year, and you're always on the phone with them and your colleagues, so y'all are always brainstorming and try to come up with different ways to improve. So great job, Ms. Cato, to you and your team, and
Thank you.
also to all of us that are a part of FISBIT. You know, it's great to see this, because we weren't the only school district that benefited from this.
That's
And
true.
in times when money's tight, this is a good thing. So thank you, Ms. Cato.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Chairman Destin, I'll just say, it's always good news to see a fee reduction of $1 million. And we all know how much that's needed, especially at this time. And we were all excited, but I understand that Ms. Perry's already ready to apply those dollars in the area that they need to go, given our current situation. But thanks for your good work on this.
Thank
And
you.
Mr. Bryant, thanks to you for being our representative and serving. I know you had to sacrifice some to do that, but we're very grateful, and we can see the fruits of that labor. Thank you. Thank you both.
Definitely a team effort.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, a couple questions. First off, bottom line is bottom line. Excellent. I mean, who doesn't like that? That's great. I do have a question on the graph, on the paper that's sent out.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see where the casualty workman comp claims go up and down depending.
Mm-hmm.
The other line in there, what does that represent? Do you know? It starts about 1.65, goes up over 5 years.
That's just showing your average trend line.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, this is for all the districts, like they're trending this way. We, for some reason, seem to be way up here, way down here over those years. And some of them have to do with some cases we dealt with a long time ago.
Right.
And they're just waiting for them to fall off. And that's what happens with that 5-year look back. So this coming year, they'll bring this most recent year in and drop that 2020 off. So it'll trying to bring us into a little bit more of a balance.
Sure. How many of the districts are working with FISBIT, do you know? 12.
Well, I think
Well, we have
they're
13
now,
yeah.
so we just added another, so.
It might be more now.
No,
Well, Fleet has about 20-something,
Oh,
right?
okay.
But FISBIT currently has 13.
yeah, we just added, who did we just add?
I don't remember.
Yeah, we added another county, but I'll just tell you that FISBIT is not like in the business of expanding more than what we can take on.
Yeah.
And it's basically for middle and small counties. Your counties like Miami-Dade and Orange, they would break us. It would break us. So, but FISBIT is, like I said, it's a collection of 13 school districts. And like I said, we all, you know, are in this together. So what decisions I make for Okaloosa are not only just for Okaloosa, but for 12 other school districts. So,
Well, it's worked out well.
yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Cato, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Colleagues, we're going to move to 7.17. This is the Adult General Education Program grant application for the fiscal year 2026-27, presented by John Williams, the director at OTC, and recommended by the superintendent. It's a submission, and the subsequent award of the grant will allow OTC to continue the Adult General Education Program. That will conclude the consent agenda, so we're going to move over to Superintendent's Human Resources Recommendations, 8.1. That's Employees on Administrative Leave. That's presented by Lindsay Maxey, the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. 8.2, that's the Deferred Retirement Option Program. That one's presented by Ms. Maxey in Human Resources. 8.3 is the Instructional and Educational Support Personnel Recommendations for the 26 and 27 school year, presented by Ms. Maxey of Human Resources and recommended by the Superintendent. 8.4, that's the Employment Separations, presented by Ms. Maxey and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. 8.5, Personnel Recommendations, presented by Ms. Maxey and recommended by the Superintendent. 8.6, Employee Transfers, presented by Ms. Maxey and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. 8.7, Reinstatement Reimbursement of Sick Leave due to line of duty, illness, injury, medical examination. That one's presented by Ms. Maxey and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. We have 8.8, Leave Without Pay. That one's presented by Ms. Maxey and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. We don't have any discussion agenda items. Number 10, we have our Construction Program Owners representatives business. 10.1, we have a program status report by the board's representative of the construction program, Mr. Heinley.
I have that meeting after this meeting, and I will report tonight.
Okay. 10.2, we have deleted that item and set it aside out of the agenda. We're going to move over to 11.1, which is the attorney's business. Mr. McGinnis?
No report this morning.
Very good. All right, we're moving to section 12, the superintendent's business. We have Mr. Spolsky. You have the floor.
Thank you, Chairman Destin. Good to see everyone today for our June board meeting. Our Superintendent Chambers is actually representing us, serving on the board at the Florida High School Activities Association. He is down there listening to appeals and taking care of business. I will like to just kind of reiterate that a lot of folks ask us at the grocery stores and the different businesses and the different things here locally, what do you do in the summer? You know, they're asking the superintendent that, they're asking the principals that, and it's an all year round business. And right now, we are heavily engaged in planning the things happening that support those 3 A's, the academics, the athletics, and of course the arts. And part of the academics is the CTE and also the building of Pineview, and we're lucky to have Dr. Donna Kelly here with us today. I'm going to ask her to come up and give us a brief on some things that are happening out there at Pineview.
Good morning. Thank you for allowing me to speak, and thank you for letting me be the principal of Pineview. I'm having a great time. I would like to provide you with just a very brief overview of what Mr. Kimbrough and I have been doing. We've been actively interviewing candidates coming and going. We have about 75% of our faculty and staff. I know many of them will come before you tonight. A lot of our teachers have already had the opportunity to visit Pineview, and let me just say they are excited. They wanted their room assignment that day. They did not care. They did not have electricity or water. They were ready to move in. In addition to our teachers being at their first year, one of the things Mr. Kimbrough and I wanted to do was to give each of our faculty and staff a first year commemorative coin. And so we're going to be giving each of the faculty members those, and Mr. Kimbrough has one for each of you so that you can help us celebrate Pineview. These teachers have already been collaborating. We've met together, and we already have a mission statement for Pineview. I'm going to read it to you. Our mission is to empower students from their earliest experiences in elementary school through their transition from middle school to become confident, empathetic, and critical thinkers. So I'm excited that we already have a mission, and we're already getting to work. We've already approved materials for science classes and CTE. And speaking of CTE, Mr. Kimbrough, I'm very excited. We have 2 Mr. Kimbroughs. The one that's taking the spotlight, I'm going to ask our future 7th grade Mr. Kimbrough Kingston to come forward. He's going to share just a short demonstration to you with something that we're going to be doing at Pineview. We don't have a name yet for our robot. We're kind of tossing it around, probably let the kids decide. But I'm going to let him share with you some of the things because he can already program it. Mr. Kimbrough, the big Mr. Kimbrough and I are learning.
So this program we're going to use will help our AI programming classes. They'll actually be able to program this for various tasks all the way through LiDAR and mapping. And so we'll actually have a competition amongst our AI Python groups to program it, and we'll have a thing at the end of the year.
Can you make them jump?
We'll make it
I love you.
I'm going to show you some love now. So for open house, we hope to have him and his brother at the door. There's going to be 2 dogs on campus at the door for us to greet people. And then to entice the elementary students, it would be nice to have them at lunches walking around with me and any other 7th grader, 8th grader controlling them. So it's kind of a PR all around, and entice them into CTE.
Yep, we are planning a variety of STEM-focused clubs and traditions to enrich students' experiences at Pineview. Regarding the arts, we have a band director, Mr. Lucas, and he'll be joining us in July. I'd like to thank Dr. Driver and Ms. King for supporting our students through the instrument fittings and summer band camp so that our students will not be behind in band. Elementary musical instruments have been ordered and some are already arriving. And finally, in the world of athletics, all the uniforms have been designed and some have been ordered for the fall and winter. We have secured coaches for all of the fall sports. We have schedules up and posted, and many of our athletes are already conditioning. Daniel Alter, who is our athletic director and head football coach, has done a fantastic job. I'd like to thank Ms. Hayden, Dr. Driver, and Ms. King, because again, they have lent their facilities so that our students will be right on time with everyone else. I hope this gives you a glimpse into what we've been doing at Pineview. If you have any questions, we'd be glad to answer them.
So that's a great report. I appreciate that, Doc. Before you sit down, I just want everyone out there that's watching to hear what is really happening out there. If they haven't had an opportunity to be at a school in the summer and see the young people get the brass instruments in their hands so that the band directors can advise them on should they play a trumpet or should they head toward the woodwinds. What a culmination of all of our experts out there working together collaboratively to put those things together. I'm very excited.
Yes, we are too, and we couldn't have done it without all the other principals and coaches at the other schools. We want to thank them.
Any questions for Doc Donna?
For the other board members, I'm going to be doing a construction tour next week. If anybody wants to go, not sure, I'll know by tonight, I think.
And we will actually be out there this Thursday at 1 if anyone wants to join us from the board.
Thank you, Doc. That's all I have.
That's terrific. I did have one thought. You said Python?
Yeah, so our CT programs, there's an intro to tech class that starts with 6th graders and moves all the way into AI programming by 8th grade year, and it's an entry cert.
Yeah.
And so our top level students, at Pineview right now, we've got about 12 in the system who are coming from the other middle schools. We'll be able to program these dogs to do various tasks. We'll set them up with tasks, and they'll actually program them out to do those tasks as a kind of a robot Olympics for the program, and it just sort of gets some real experience with it. These robots are actually used for mapping, and they're even working into search and rescue programs because they can go into areas and use LiDAR to go through a smoky room and things like that. So it's kind of fun to have them hands-on, not just programming on the computer and going, okay, this is theoretical. Now they get to actually watch what they're doing and actually happen in front of them. So it's pretty awesome.
And
Thanks to you for that, because they help us out with funds to get this before you even open the doors. So.
And Mr. Chair, I'll just say I think it's great that we've got these kids already looking and programming these machines. And just a little footnote, kind of getting ready for maybe a next career, because Elon Musk has said that those will be bigger than the car industry. And it's quite fascinating. So thank you. Paul.
Well, thank you, and Mr. Kimbrough the Younger, thank you for your demonstration. It was really great to have you here.
Mr. Destin, if I can comment, I know you're not going to say this, but we do have a good name for the dog, if y'all want to consider it. He has a basset hound named Eugene. I don't think Eugene can even get...
You just got to give him some ears.
Yeah.
I got to put in my bid for my Yorkies.
All right, colleagues, Mr. Spolsky, thank you for your report. So we're going to move right into board members' announcements, requests for information, and we'll just start at this end. Mr. Heinley.
Okay, nothing to report except for that Pineview tour, which I hope to get down for tonight. So, continue the tradition, today is the 8th. Who was the 8th president of the United States of America? He was 6.
I think he was Dutch.
He was Dutch.
Yeah.
Martin Van Buren.
That's the one.
All right, we're not finished. Hand off the button there. 31 plus 8 is 39. I did the math for you, didn't it, this week? Who was the 39th president? Oh. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Jimmy.
Jimmy Carter.
That's
You
right,
are.
he was
You
listening
did.
a lot.
You did. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Heinley. Okay, I'm going to save anything I've got for tonight. Mr. Bryant? Dr. White?
Nothing today, thank you.
Okay, making it easy on me. All right, so 14.1 will be the public comment opportunity for general public to speak their piece. Tonight, we do have a public hearing for textbook adoption. That's going to be at 5:15. So as we move through the meeting, when we hit that, we'll set aside and hop into the public hearing portion, get that knocked out.
I have a question regarding the public
Yeah,
hearing.
go ahead.
So we're adopting this textbook. Are they going to be in school? They're going to be in the schools this year, or is this, I mean, this is for this year, so are we going to have them in there?
We worked a little bit of that magic last year. We're going to see if we can pull some of it off this year, Mr. Bryant.
Okay. I see Ms. Bates is here, and she's shaking her head. Thank you, Ms. Bates. I have full confidence.
Okay. All right, do we have anything from staff? Mr. Strong, Ms. Appleberg? Okay. Seeing nothing else from the board, I will call this workshop adjourned.